The Sister Wife's Husband, A Grey West Mystery, Book 3 by Anya Mora, narrated by Subhadra Newton. My husband has always been dangerous, but I never thought he was a killer. One phone message changes everything. The cult where I spent 15 years of my life is preparing for the unthinkable. My son has returned to the fold. I must find him before it is too late. But it's not just his life that's at stake. It's the entire congregation of Garden Temple. I thought I was destined to be a sister wife and mother, but it turns out I am so much more. I am a woman who must stop her husband's madness before he does something irreversible. I must stop him before it's too late. The Sister Wife's Husband is Book 3 in a new suspense series. Chapter 1. The bedroom spins around me as my fingers grip my son's phone. I replay the message. Abel, I know you're still looking for Ruthie. Bethany's voice is withdrawn, distant. But I really hope you can make it back to Garden Temple soon because the prophet has told us his revelation. We've been waiting for so many years for this time, for this moment, but it's here. Our garden has grown and it's time. It's time for all of us to return to Eden. I closed the flip phone that Olive took from her big brother's backpack before he slipped away in the night. Bethany's words linger heavy in the air. Did someone pressure her to make this call, or was it something she wanted to do? A warning? I have to go get him, I whisper, sitting on the edge of my bed, still in my pajamas, my hair unruly, my heart heavy. One night of peaceful sleep was all the rest I was getting. Ruthie, my 8-year-old, spent 2 nights in captivity, and she was just found. Now my son Abel, a teenager with nothing but reckless love on his mind, is gone. Is he trying to spare me more pain? What's going on? Ruthie asks, rubbing her eyes, now awake. Abel left, I tell her, pushing her wavy hair from her eyes. He left for Bethany. Is he coming back with her? With their baby? She asks. Baby. Bethany is 15 and pregnant with my son's child. Everything about this situation feels like history repeating itself, except it is so much worse this time. I need to get them both out before something irreversible happens. I look at Olive. At 12, she understands that Abel and Bethany leaving the compound, where they've lived their entire lives, is no simple thing. It would mean turning away from their family and friends, and if they believe the prophet's words, they might refuse to come with me at all. I can't wait to find out what either of them are planning, I tell both my girls. I'm scared something bad might happen to them if I don't go get them and force them to leave myself. Something bad like what? Ruthie asks, following me as I get out of bed. Bad like Dad might never let them leave, Olive says. But in my gut I know it is worse than that, worse than not letting them leave. Going to Eden means moving into the place Jeremiah has prepared for us. But what if he has sinister plans once they get there? What if it's not a destination so much as a spiritual state of mind, a permanent state? We can call the police, Ruthie says. They are super nice. They helped you find me, didn't they? The 3 of us descend the stairs, entering the kitchen. The house feels empty without my son here, even though he'd only been here a few days. The police have been in my house for the last 2 days as we worked tirelessly to find Ruthie. The idea of calling them again exhausts me, but I know I need help if I'm going to do this. The police in Tacoma aren't the same police who live near the compound. They're different departments, I explain to Olive and Ruthie as I begin to make a pot of coffee. Coffee. I feel like it's all I live on. What do you mean? Olive asks. I thought the police would help anybody. Right, I say. But when we suspected your father of being the one who took Ruthie, the police from Tacoma were the ones who drove over to interview him and to clear him, not the police who work where he lives. Does that make sense? Kind of, Ruthie says slowly. So you're saying we need the police by the compound to help get Abel back? Her voice lifts as she finishes her sentence. Still too young to fully understand this, and honestly, I'm not sure if I want her to. I need to protect her. God knows I haven't done a very good job of it so far, considering she was stolen from our driveway while taking out the trash. So you have to go to the compound and then ask the police for help once you get there? Olive asks. I think so, I tell her. If I drive to Grant County, I can go to the police station and explain what I think is going to happen at the compound. It's not that I fear Jeremiah is going to convince the entire congregation at Garden Temple to drink the not-so-metaphorical Kool-Aid and take their lives, but that I don't know where Eden is. It's a secret location only the men are privy to. If Jeremiah is taking them there in the hopes of fulfilling the prophecy he's been preaching about for 2 decades, I need to know where that is exactly. Why didn't I ask Abel more questions when he was here? Get an address for the work site at least. But I know why I didn't. When Abel was here for those few days, we were consumed with looking for Ruthie. Maybe you should call Boone, Olive says, as she pulls out a jug of milk from the refrigerator. Boone. I consider him. Knowing Boone is one person I do feel safe with. Talking to a detective might help me get some clarity, and to be honest, I could use that. That's not a terrible idea, I say, biting my bottom lip. Is he your friend like Patrick was your friend? Ruthie asks me. Patrick was another man I was friendly with, but Patrick used me, put me in danger so he could get closer to his own desires. He lured me in by paying for my Ruthie's dance lessons and helping me with the grocery bills. I thought he was a friend, but he wasn't. And now it doesn't even matter. Patrick was killed because of his dangerous decisions, the schemes he pulled me into, endangering me in the process. No, Boone is nothing like Patrick, I tell her. Patrick was what they call a wolf in sheep's clothing. He seemed nice on the outside, but inside he had really sharp teeth? Ruthie asks. Exactly, I tell her. And Boone, Olive says, doesn't bite. He's more like a gentle lion. Yeah, Ruthie grins. He even has kind of reddish hair, like a lion's mane. I smile despite myself. Yeah, I suppose he does. So call him, Olive says, shoving my phone across the kitchen counter. He'll know how to help you. I'm sure he has work, I say. Yeah, but I have a feeling he'd do anything for you, Mom. Why do you say that? Olive widens her eyes, rolls them. Mom, I may be 12, but I know a thing or two about crushes. I snort. Do you now? Talking about crushes seems absurd considering the situation. But I don't want the girls to sense my worry. I want them to believe everything is fine, that this is just a little hiccup in getting their brother home. So I indulge them with this conversation. Yeah, Olive says. Boone likes you. I shake my head. Olive, it's not like that. Ruthie and